Hi guys, Steady Eddie here, this time on the mood to see what Angeles City has to offer in the way of go-go bars. Well, I have to say, when visiting the city for the first time, I was really looking forward to visiting the go-go bars. I mean, the thought of all those delightful Philippine ladies dancing on stage in bikinis, wow, can't wait. Well, let me firstly say that I'm not constantly going to be comparing the Philippines to Thailand. But it's hard not to compare it when you visit the go-go bars and see what they have to offer. I love the go-go bars of Pattaya, so is Angeles City is good for this sort of thing? Well, I'm not going to mince words. I'm simply going to tell you about my first experience at the go-go bars around the Fields Avenue Walking Street area. And I have to say that my very first impression was not good. In fact, it was dreadful. The first one I went in was a prominent bar in Walking Street, the one that has a Viking ship theme to it. It says something about dancing girls on a sign outside, and I'd seen this place on a couple of YouTube videos, so I was keen to investigate. So I went inside, and within seconds I felt something was not quite right. This bar is quite a big bar with a stage in the middle that is designed like a Viking ship. So what did I notice first of all? Well, what I noticed was the girls on stage, about six of them. They were standing in a line on stage facing the entrance, standing there on stage, wearing coloured frocks, standing like a bunch of suspects in an identity parade lineup. They weren't dancing, they weren't even moving, weren't even smiling. And it sort of creeped me out. So I sat down and ordered a drink from the waitress, and as I sat down, I continued to observe these girls. Why were they not moving? I started wondering if something dreadful had just happened in this bar before I walked in and left them in a state of alarm. I mean, it was just so creepy watching this lineup of not very good looking girls in coloured frocks just standing motionless, wearing what appeared to be name tags and not even smiling. So the waitress brought me my reasonably priced beer and then sat down next to me and began flirting with me. She then pointed to the girls on stage and said, "You like girl?" I replied, "Well, no. What I'd like is for them to begin moving just to prove that they are actually still alive. They haven't just died standing up." And then, like as if they may have heard my voice above the music, one of them, the girl on the far right, did start moving. She began swaying her chubby hips, and I think she may have even lifted a leg before realising none of the other girls were joining in. She quickly gave up. And then, in a gesture that said it all, one of the girls in the middle opened her mouth wide, put her hand over it, and gave a very pronounced yawn. I think I'd seen just about enough of this place. For what it's worth, it is quite a nice design to the bar, and they do play some very good tunes in there. Okay, so that wasn't a good start. Let's try another. And there's one with a familiar name. Now, I'm not going to mention Thailand. This is the Philippines, and I'm going to refer to this place and nowhere else right now. So I went into this go-go bar with a familiar name that I'd enjoyed many times in another country. And what did I see when I got inside? Oh my God. The words bargain basement spring to mind. Jesus, this is awful. This really quite small place at a small stage with no more than four girls dancing, if you can call it that, in bikinis. Okay, so dancing girls in bikinis doesn't sound too bad. Well, the truth is that there are some girls who shouldn't be allowed to wear bikinis. I mean, Jesus, just look at these girls. They were overweight, out of shape, were not even remotely good looking. Just where the hell did they get them from? And am I to believe that some customers actually pay bar fines for these girls? As a 1980s tennis player once infamously said, "You cannot be serious." Okay, now I know this kind of talk may sound a bit unkind and ungentlemanly, but remember, I'm here to give you an honest review of these places, and that is something that I didn't get before I came here. Before visiting Angeles, I looked at YouTube videos, checked out various websites to get an idea of what to expect, and I didn't see or read anywhere anything about these go-go bars having such an awful quality of girls. For what it's worth, this second bar I went in changed its lineup of dancing girls after a short while to be replaced with another lineup of dancing girls in bikinis. And guess what? They were even worse than the first lot. Get me out of here. Okay, so I'll say once again that this was my first impression of Angeles go-go bars. This was quite late evening, and I've heard that the best girls get snapped up at the start of the night by Korean gentlemen, of which there are many who visit these bars. So, on to my next attempt. This bar seemed okay at first when I first entered. There were a few quite nice ladies in bikinis on stage, and a couple more obese ones. But the problem was that they weren't moving either. Just standing still, a couple of them talking or gossiping with their arms folded, like women would do over a garden fence. So I had a beer and was half hoping for some sort of response from the ladies on stage, but they all remained quite motionless. And then one of the girls, quite a good-looking girl in a bikini, did something I have never seen or never would expect to see a go-go dancer do on stage. One of the waitresses delivered to her a bowl of noodles, and she began eating them. Yes, that's right, a go-go dancer in a bikini began eating a bowl of noodles on stage. I'm not sure if they were boiled or fried noodles, but it was definitely a bowl of noodles. And the girl in the bikini was eating a bowl of noodles on stage. Yes. Well, that go-go bar didn't exactly ring my bell either, so I decided to move on. There wasn't anything particularly bad about that bar. It was just, well, noodles. Okay, so on to the last one for the evening. Things can only get better. And did they? Not on this first night, they didn't. Now, I've already mentioned obesity and the fact that there are some ladies who shouldn't be allowed to wear bikinis, let alone thongs, on stage. It is well known that Philippine ladies are often plumper than their counterparts in other Southeast Asian countries. Well, that's their business, but I wouldn't expect to see them on stage in go-go bars. So, as for this last attempt of the evening, well, just when you thought things couldn't get any worse, they pulled back the curtain. I entered the bar. I looked at the stage. There were two very obese women wearing black thongs, and the first thought that entered my head was that I'd wandered into a sumo wrestling contest by mistake. Really? I mean, really? One drink and I was out of there. Okay, so this first night mooching around the go-go bars of Angeles City was a major disappointment, and it didn't exactly put me in a good frame of mind. But I'm pleased to say things did eventually get better. Not really on the second night, but on the third or fourth night maybe. There are some bigger, better and grander bars on Walking Street where you will see a lot nicer, healthier looking ladies. But before you think it's a case if you get what you pay for, and if you go to rough and ready go-go bars, you will see rough and ready ladies, well, that's not necessarily the case. Remember, the first go-go bar I went in, the one with all of the zombies standing on the stage, was one of the most well-known go-go bars on Walking Street. You just need to persevere and you will eventually find the decent ones. So I'm continuing my travels through the Philippines, and there is a lot more to come. I know many may disagree with my opinions here, but I'm just telling it like it is. Can't do any more than that. So thanks for watching. Please subscribe to this channel because I've got a whole lot more info I want to share with you. Give this video a thumbs up if it's been useful to you. Give this video a thumbs down if you're a fat, ugly feminist who thinks guys like me should be locked up and the key thrown away. And I'll see you in the next video. Cheers.